Welcome back to the channel. This bike has well and truly broken my spirit because we have spent roughly 3 months trying to piece this thing together.
Ooh, that's bad.
Just to get roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
Oh no, no.
That is until now. Because what's in this package will be the game changer. Yep, that's right. This is a full front suspension package of a 1299S Panigale, and fingers crossed this should fit perfectly onto the existing bike. So we picked these up, another eBay find. We got them for a relatively good price, but they do have a little bit of damage, so we're gonna go over that in a minute. But for now, what the game plan is to take the internals out of this because they have electronic ends on them. We don't want that. And we're gonna switch them with these. These are the Öhlins cartridges that I bought that I thought I was gonna have to sell. Turns out we can probably repurpose them. So just taking a look at this one, it actually looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's got a little graze just there on the outside, but the mount for the front guard looks straight. The axle hole looks straight. The lower tube looks like it's got no dents, but we're going to replace that seal anyway. And then really, they just need a good clean. Like, they've got some obvious rub marks on them, which every fork you're gonna get has rub marks on them and a few little scratches. So it pays to get professionals to do some jobs. And in this case, when I'm rebuilding the front end, the front forks on this bike, I wanna make sure they are safe and sound and they are done professionally. So I'm gonna take all of this gear over to Motor Garage, and Brett from Motor Garage is gonna install these cartridges into those 1299S forks. Fingers crossed they're a direct fit. And then hopefully we're gonna come straight back to filming here and we'll have some forks to go on the front of this bike.
So roadblock number 1, this one is actually bent. So
this one's bent too.
See this one. Luckily I've got these spare outer tubes, so we might use them.
Oh, you can feel the kink in it.
Oh yeah, I can see that's bent. Yeah, totally bent. Man, I'm definitely trying to get my money back on theirs. Luckily, I've got these spares, so hopefully we can get a full kit together.
So, bent forks, nothing is going to plan on this build, but there is a silver lining. They have given me a significant refund. So forks that cost me $1,459 have now cost me about $1,000. So even once I take them apart and try and rebuild a complete set of forks, I'll have heaps of spare parts I can sell. But in the meantime, whilst Motor Garage are building up those forks, I've come back to the garage, I'm doing a bunch of little jobs. So I've just fixed up, I put the red nuts on this and just secured all this back end back on. I've finalized all the bolts on the carbon back here. I've also adjusted the quick shifter rod and all of the rear sets so everything actually aligns and doesn't rub, because this was super close before it was rubbing. I'll put the block off plugs on the ABS, so they're all in there, nice and neat. Look at that, no fluid gonna come out of them. And I've fixed up all the radiator hosing, so all of these lines are all new, they've all been put where they're supposed to be, and the radiator is full of fluid. So I'm back from Motor Garage, and we've finally got some good news because our forks are done. And thank you so much, Brett and Chris from Motor Garage. I know it took you a little bit of work, but we got there in the end. And now I can finally get rid of these carbon forks. Did I say carbon? I meant cardboard. So the other good thing is I've got these that I can sell. So these are the internals out of the original 1299 forks. So just looking on eBay, they're gonna go for around about $1,000. Now, I'm gonna list these as parts or not working because I'm not sure if there's any bent internals in there. Surely some of it would have to be slightly bent, but these fork motors, these parts on the end here, these fork motors are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars just by themselves. So that means more money back in my pocket, fingers crossed. Anyway, let's get these forks on.
Okay, so the forks are in, but we're getting another massive setback. And I've got to be honest with you, this bike is definitely killing my soul, my will to want to build these bikes. I'm going to show you what I've done. And this, I think, is my own stupid fault. Again. Okay, so we bought this Ayala Top Triple, and if you'll notice, none of this lines up. So I'm thinking that the triple is also bent. Now, if you look at that top nut, you can sort of just see the top nut faces that way a little bit, and the forks actually face outwards. So I'm thinking I'm going to strip this back down really, really quickly, take all this back off, take the forks back out, take the triple out, and we'll see if that top triple is actually straight, because I never actually checked it. Look at that, clearly not straight. I'm an idiot. Let this be a lesson to everyone who wants to build a bike off eBay, like I've tried to do here, with every single part coming secondhand from Marketplace, from eBay. You've got to be willing to take the good with the bad. And unfortunately, I've had a lot of bad on this build. This is bent. I'm gonna have to replace it. I've got some options. I've found a few options in the States. There's nothing in Australia unless something pops up on Marketplace this weekend. There's about a 3-week wait on parts from Italy. So if I want to buy a complete new OEM V2 Panigale lower triple end stem, even after my discount, around about $1,000. That's a lot of money to put on top of the $22,500 I've already spent on this bike. So yeah, I might need to rethink the way in which I build superbikes. Righty, I've taken the plunge, I've done it, I've ordered those parts that I need. Something else I wanted to show you anyway, because I was hoping to get this bike actually on its wheels today. And this was one of the parts that just arrived in the mail that I thought would be a pretty cool addition. And this is actually another eBay find. Yes, I know. Takeoff duck ear ducts. So they're not actually Ducati Performance, but they look the bee's knees. They've even got the built-in spacers, and they come with 2 different size spacers. So if you're running a V2 with the 320 discs, you can take these fat spacers off and put a thin bracket on it, which I thought was pretty cool for an eBay $91 special. So pretty happy with that. But I've got nothing to attach them to. So I think that's about it for today's really sad, demoralizing episode. I think I definitely need another build in this workshop because I can't get enough content out quickly enough, and parts are just killing me. So we've got heaps more parts to sell now. Fingers crossed some of that sells this weekend on eBay, and that will fund the parts that I've just bought for the front end to get this bike rolling. As soon as it's rolling, we're going to dyno it. We're not going to worry about getting the whole bike finished, and we've got something very, very special coming for this bike. I had a sponsor reach out, and it looks like they are providing us with a full custom fairing kit. So that's on its way as well. I'm not sure how many weeks that'll take to get here, but we're still going forward slowly. 2 steps backwards, half a step forward. Peace out. We'll see you on the next one.